In a crowded courtroom in Germany, a mother stood up, trembling. Then she pulled out a small pistol. 8 shots echoed through the room. 7 found their mark. When the smoke cleared, the man who had brutally taken her daughter's life lay dead. Her words would echo across the world. "If justice cannot avenge my daughter, then I will do it myself." This is not fiction. This is the shocking true story of Marianne Bachmeier, a mother who became a symbol of both rage and heartbreak. The woman who carried out one of the most infamous acts of courtroom vengeance in history. Marianne Bachmeier lived in Lübeck, West Germany, in the late 1970s. She was a single mother, young, hardworking, and deeply devoted to her little girl Anna. Anna was only 7 years old, curious, cheerful, full of energy, the kind of child who could light up a room with her smile. Their life wasn't perfect, but it was filled with love. Marianne worked hard to give Anna everything she could. Every morning, she'd braid her daughter's hair, walk her to school, and promise to pick her up after class. But one morning, that normal, simple routine turned into a day that would shatter Marianne's world forever. It was May 5th, 1980. Anna was upset because she wasn't allowed to go out and play with her friends. In frustration, she stormed out of the house, slamming the door behind her. It would be the last time her mother ever saw her alive. When Anna didn't return, panic set in. Marianne searched the streets, called neighbors, and finally contacted the police. For hours, there was no sign of the little girl. Then came the call no parent should ever receive. A child's body had been found. Anna was discovered by the side of a canal, her life stolen in the most brutal way imaginable. She had been kidnapped, violated, and strangled. The suspect's name was Klaus Grabowski, a 35-year-old man with a dark and twisted past. Klaus Grabowski wasn't a stranger to police. He was a convicted pedophile, and what makes this story even more disturbing is that he had voluntarily undergone chemical castration years earlier. But he later found a way to reverse it through hormone treatments, a decision that would have deadly consequences. Grabowski lured Anna to his home with the promise of showing her his cats. What happened next was horrifying beyond words. He kept her captive, assaulted her, and then killed her, afraid his girlfriend would report him to police. He placed her body in a plastic bag and left it near a canal. When investigators discovered the truth, the entire nation of Germany was outraged. And Marianne was broken. Her beautiful child was gone. And the man responsible seemed almost emotionless. The trial of Klaus Grabowski began in March 1981, nearly a year after Anna's death. Marianne attended, hoping for justice. She wanted to look the man who destroyed her life straight in the eyes. But what she saw inside that courtroom wasn't remorse. Grabowski sat calmly, almost smug. He blamed his girlfriend, claimed he didn't mean to kill Anna, and appeared cold and unfeeling throughout the trial. As the days went on, Marianne's anger grew. She listened to lawyers debate over technicalities, psychiatrists discuss Grabowski's mental state, and reporters treat the trial like entertainment. For her, it was torture. On the 3rd day of the trial, something inside her broke. It was March 6, 1981. Marianne Bachmeier walked into the courtroom wearing a leather jacket. Hidden inside her bag was a small .22 caliber pistol. As the proceedings began, the defense discussed the details of her daughter's final moments. Grabowski sat there, smirking. And then Marianne stood up. Without a word, she reached into her bag, pulled out the gun, and fired. 8 shots rang out. 7 hit Grabowski. He slumped over and died instantly. Chaos erupted. People screamed. The judge ducked for cover. Marianne stood motionless, gun still in hand, staring at the man who had taken her daughter. When police rushed to arrest her, she said calmly, "I wanted to shoot him in the face, but I didn't want him to suffer. He should just be dead." The news spread like wildfire. A mother had shot her child's killer in open court. Germany was divided. Some called her a murderer. Others called her a hero. To many, she was the embodiment of grief and justice, a woman who did what the system could not. Marianne was charged with murder, but her defense argued she acted in temporary insanity caused by trauma and grief. The court agreed partly. She was convicted only of manslaughter and illegal possession of a firearm. Her sentence? 6 years in prison, later reduced to 3 years. She served her time quietly, but her act changed the conversation across Germany about justice, victims' rights, and how society treats the parents of murdered children. After her release, Marianne tried to rebuild her life. She moved away, remarried, and even gave interviews reflecting on what she had done. In one, she said, "I didn't do it because I wanted to be a hero. I did it because I couldn't bear to see him smile while my daughter was gone." Years later, she would be diagnosed with cancer. In her final days, she returned to Lübeck to be close to Anna's grave. Marianne Bachmeier passed away in 1996 at just 46 years old. She was buried beside her daughter. Today, more than 4 decades later, the story of Marianne Bachmeier still stirs emotions. Was she right or was she wrong? Did she bring justice or simply revenge? Her act forced the world to confront an uncomfortable question. When the system fails, how far will a parent go for justice? Marianne's story isn't just about vengeance. It's about love, a mother's love so powerful, it refused to be silenced. And as the years go by, people still remember the woman who stood up in court and said, "If justice cannot avenge my daughter, then I will do it myself." If this story moved you, take a moment to reflect. What would you have done in her place? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you want more real-life stories that challenge what justice means, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful true stories like this.